what I've rediscovered, and I know I say this shit a lot, it's worth more than money. I mean, it's how things work, and it's a means to understanding that. On that note, and I probably should just leave this on the YouTubes for this reason. Um, if any of you want to pay me to have a conversation with you, and when you don't hear back, you just leave your thoughts on the internet anyway, which is quite telling of all of those things that were addressed previously. I am referring to a certain someone. Well, yeah. Feel free if you want to pay me to do whatever the fuck you want anyway. Um, yeah. I'm trying to get through to people. I'm trying to find people who can think for themselves. They want to do the right thing. They're capable of abstract thought, and they're willing to take this journey and all the things I constantly fucking rattle off. And over the years, I've kicked a lot of people to the curb. I've cut a lot of people out of my life, and I've done my best to not show a number of folks who have burnt bridges with me information, some of which I still show information to varying degrees. Um, because it's a temporary system and you can pull your head out of your ass and you might change. You never know. The only thing is just like a relationship, no one can change someone else. That's why I keep putting it to all of you, not just the person that I was referring to a moment ago. Uh, you can change things, but you got to be willing. And most people aren't unless they go through some hardships. A moment in your life has to be extremely trying. And usually that results in forced attrition. In other words, uh, the physical crap that I've gone through, I have to change certain aspects of my life. And the same thing happens to anybody who gets older. That's just what happens. You do or you don't, you know? And the way things work, because it is based in time, this entire thing, when people babble about 4D, um, and a time matrix or the Einstein horseshit, that cousin fucking plagiarist, talking about space time. Um, Entropy exists, and one day we will all rot, and that's just the arc of descent. It's three stages that we are aware of, and then you got death, and that's just how this junk works. The same thing's going to apply to if you take this journey and you start working with the tools I've already spoon fed people, the stepping stones I've given folks. If they start fucking using them, they will lead somewhere, so long as you're not attributing it to the paradigms, so long as you're thinking for yourself and working with it. But you're going to go through stages. And it's like the however many stages of grief or however many stages of happiness. It it's all fleeting, it's all temporary. So in the beginning, especially with the research, it's going to be very frustrating and you're going to make no goddamn progress whatsoever. So there's no reason to tell anybody about it because it's shit. You're just going to be painting on the walls with shit still, because you come from a place of using paradigms, which means you know nothing. Our masters saw to that. You and I both. Like I knew absolutely jack shit. Jack shit. And I had to throw it all out the window and build it up. And that's what I've done. So anything you've ever heard online that resonates with you or wows you or interests you, even in the slightest, that I've left on here, I built it all up. And the reason it makes sense is because I've followed the same fucking path that I'm telling you guys about. I'm urging you to participate in. It's pretty fucking simple, but it takes grit. It's going to take time and energy and patience. And as far as I'm aware, no one has done it. Because if somebody had, I imagine we would talk, because I could show you so much more, and that was the whole point. I think the same difference applies to the three recent, well, I say recent, but within the past year or two, I've left 3 test questions online and no one has answered them. And if people were digging, if people were thinking for themselves, they were capable of doing what I keep asking folks to do, I'm pretty goddamn sure somebody would have answered that question and got back to me lickety-split, especially those of you out there who have shown interest. In other words, by interest, I mean you kick back like a voyeur most of the time, and you want the answers, but you're not willing to work for them. And or you still don't know what that means or how to do so. And that will take time. That's part of this process. That's part of the really frustrating shit when you first start off and trying to find your way. And everybody's going to do this differently, but it's still going to shake out the same way. You're not just going to instantly have those answers. It's like building a house. You're not just going to have a house. Even though you haven't bought any nails and you don't have the wood and you haven't outlined how you want to build the house. You don't see an outline, you don't see any of it. I mean, really, when you think of the paradigms and the house analogy, maybe you've heard the word house, but you still have no fucking clue what it relates to. You can't conceptually picture it. And that's what this is like in the beginning. And as you slowly start figuring some of this out, you may build up the ceiling before you build the roof. Or you may build up, one of the walls. You might do it all ass backwards. You never know. It depends on where you start. That's the beauty of it. And it's fucking amazing if you just do what I keep asking people to fucking do. Either way, what the fuck do I know? And to you know who, yeah, if you just want to throw money at me and then do whatever the fuck you want, I'm okay with that because I am pretty fucking poor. But we had to talk about this, and if neither of us are well off, I already said once, don't give me money. But because you did do what you fucking wanted to do, I was going to let that just time out, but I did just cash that through the Cash App. Because you did whatever the fuck you wanted anyway. I'm shaking my head. What the fuck? All right, as always, what the fuck do I know?